Welcome back to Stark Radio. I'm producer Liz. On TikTok, you know me for my Wednesday night lives where we talk about everything fandom news. You also know me for my Stark Radio POVs where we adventure into the world of a radio station run for the Avengers. And on request from all of you, I've extended the show to YouTube. It's going to be a little bit different from the content you see on TikTok. Here we'll be interviewing our favorite Marvel creators about the fandoms they're a part of and how they make their amazing content. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a new episode coming out every Friday. This week's interview is with a dear friend of mine. She's a Canadian content creator. She edits amazing videos and she's a huge fan of Marvel. So I hope you enjoyed this week's conversation. I'm so excited to be talking to my very good friend from the DMs. This is our first time talking face-to-face. So this is an exclusive to Stark Radio of Mads and Liz. You know Mads from videos such as POVs with Tom Holland and Spider-Man. Also, if you were a fan of Draco Talk, you would have seen her rack up over 500,000 likes on some of those POVs that she's made. And most recently, she's started a series including Snack Wars with Tom Holland. Take a peek.
This is already one because it's from Craig's.
So sorry. I hope the mic wasn't turned on for that.
I can swear, can I? That's disgusting. What's up, Lab Bible?
What's up, Lab Bible? It's Mads.
Tom Holland here, and I'm going to play Snack Wars.
It's where I compare Canadian foods with
British snacks
British foods
over American snacks. So
It's my good friend and yours, Mads from TikTok, HTTPS Mads. Hey, Mads.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So do you go by Mads or Madison or Mad? What is the actual name that you like people to call you?
So it's a lot of people call me Maddie, like
Maddie.
my close friends, my family. Madison if I'm in trouble, or like my coworkers, like my not close coworkers. And then my Mads is my online presence name.
Online name. Okay, so for the purposes of this, let's call you Mads. Keep it consistent with TikTok.
Sure.
Listen, I love the Snack Wars series. I think it's so well done. And if you didn't know it was an edited video and you didn't see the TikTok branding around it, I would actually think it was part of the series and that you and Tom filmed it together. So tell me about where that specific idea came from, and then also where you got the snacks.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not sure where it stemmed from, because at my work we have, I work at a grocery store, that's like my COVID job I was serving before, but we have an aisle of like British snacks, and I was just thinking about it, and then it just like clicked in my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make this a TikTok. I have to make this like a series because I want to incorporate like the entire kind of video almost. So I wrapped it to be like 5 minutes long, so I have to like split it up into different parts. But yeah, and then as for the snacks, I had to get some in the aisle, and I had to go to the candy store downtown because they have like lots of snacks, but they didn't have Jaffa cakes, which I was no. Yeah, we were talking about this. You were going to send me some, but
I was going to send you some, and then the next day is when we went into lockdown, and now I can't go literally anywhere. But when I am allowed to venture out into the world, I'm going to find you some Jaffa cakes and send them across Canada.
I would love that. It's so good. But I settled for the McVitie's hobnobs because it came in like a similar blue box, and and they were like chocolate, like the chocolate wafer cookies, and I was like, okay, these can pass off. So.
And it did.
And it's still British.
When you watch the video, it seems like that's exactly what was supposed to happen. You would never know the drama behind the scenes of not being able to locate the exact snacks. I think you nailed it. And that's something I really appreciate about your content, regardless of if it's like props like you do in the snack video, or if it's you're editing yourself into a background. You put so much care into how you put yourself in those moments, whether it be like hours that I'm sure you spend with like your lighting and making sure that your lighting matches who you're duetting or what you're inserting yourself into, or like in the video we just watched, making sure your outfit matches the same aesthetic as the person that you're editing yourself into. How long does it take you on average to film these videos? And then what kind of response do you get from the real people in your life when you're like, oh, I can't do that, I have to go find a leather jacket to match Tom Holland's Snack War video?
Per video, I want to say it takes me a good like hour and a half to film, just like if I want to retake some shots. The Snack Wars it took me, I want to say 45 minutes to film because I wanted it to be like real reactions. Like those reactions were like real, you know. I only had to do a few takes for those. And then actually, like my parents don't know that I go up into my room and just they don't know that I have like a Slytherin robe in my closet right now.
That's so good.
Yeah. Like my close friends obviously know. And they're super supportive of it. I was like super nervous because it's just like I feel like I was going to get bullied. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm 20 years old when I first started making POVs. I was like, I really do not care at this point what people think of me. If they find my account, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like this has kind of been my hobby per se for quarantine. So
your quarantine hobby. So did you start this at the beginning of quarantine?
No, I actually didn't make my first POV until September, I want to say.
Right. At the peak of Draco Talk, that's when Mads came onto the scene and said, "Let me show you how it's done."
Yeah, that's what got me onto it. Actually, it's funny because I remember I was just kind of like, oh, I found this Bath and Body Works cologne that's like a dupe for Dior Sauvage, which is like, if you know Draco Talk, that was like a huge thing. And then I did kind of one POV after I got myself like a cheap wand from Party City. It was Jenna Streich. Oh, I can't remember her last name, but she does like amazing POVs. She posted a sound and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do this. So I made that. And then that was kind of like my first POV almost. It was just like a Draco line. And then, we're actually mutuals now, which is like crazy. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So when you posted that first video, what was your expectation of did you have any concept of like, oh, I want to do this and make a bunch of them? Or was it like, I'm going to make one for fun? Like, did you even imagine that you would be 1.3 million likes, like over 20,000 followers deep into this less than a year later?
No, I definitely just made it for fun, just to see if I could, pull off making a POV, because I had TikTok for like a year and a half before. So, and I've seen the POVs before, and I was just like, that's not really for me. But then, I made a separate account from like my personal account.
Right.
And I just kept kind of making them for fun. And then I made one POV. It was like the typical necklace POV.
Yeah.
For Draco Talk. And the editing I thought was like really bad. It, like, compared to my videos now, I would say it was pretty bad. But that got like 30,000 views, which, it's not a lot compared to the.
Hey,
like,
that's a sizable amount. That's nothing. Yeah. That is nothing to shake a stick at. 30,000 views for a video that you posted thinking, it's okay, not my greatest editing work, but something. Mm-hmm. That's a sizable amount.
Yeah. Actually, but my first viral video on this account was when I did, like the George and Fred Weasley, when it was like they're explaining like Marta's map to Harry.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was kind of just like me, like going back and forth at a really close angle of my face, just like switching back and forth angles. And I was just like, nobody, and then my brain at 2 a.m. And then that video has, I think, I want to say 150,000 views. I can't remember, but that was my first viral one. Yeah.
And so, like, how did it feel when you realized you were going viral? Was it like, oh God, what have I done? Or was it excitement? Or
it was, yeah. Just because that was like kind of when I'm like, oh, I don't want people to find this account, But then, I kind of got over it, and I was just like, you know what? Let's hop on the POV trend. So, yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad that you took the plunge and that you decided to jump into the ring. I want to take a step back a little bit. So you were on TikTok for a year and a half, you said, before you actually started posting. And you started in like the Harry Potter, Draco Talk, George and Fred Weasley craze, which is still ongoing, by the way, but it's certainly been overshadowed by Marvel, which we'll get to. So what is your relationship like with fandom, and when did you start like becoming a fan of these series and really diving in as deep as we are into so far as becoming a creator for those fandoms?
Yeah, I want to say I can't remember what my first fandom was. I want to say The Hunger Games was my first fandom, or Percy Jackson. I can't remember which one I read first. But I didn't start reading fan fictions until I got to my 5 sauce phase.
Oh man, we got to talk about it. Okay, well, full pause on the question I just asked. You were a part of the 5 sauce craze. I'm assuming like the 2013 to 2017 kind of realm.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still have my Nirvana shirt and my plaid. You know, I had
As
the
you
black
should.
Vans to match Luke. I had those Vans. Yeah.
Did you have the black jeans with the one rip in the knee?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like that was my outfit.
Without question.
Yeah.
Amazing. So 5 sauce is where you like dove in head first. That was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
that's when
you get a senior discount in the 5 sauce fandom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so continuing from there. You then dove into Harry Potter and Marvel, and when did all of that come about?
So I feel like it's probably time for me to come clean on this, but I didn't read my first Harry Potter book until August.
Wow!
And then I read them back to back, like 3 months, I think, just because I was like, hey, I have to read this. So I was like I haven't said that out loud because I didn't want people to be like, oh my god, she's a fake fan. She's only into this because of like Draco talk. But it's just it's not. It's just like, you know, I'm a
very firm believer that it does not matter how long you've been a part of a fandom for, or if you have a seniors discount for a fandom, or what moments you were or weren't around for, especially where, you know, I think TikTok has this new generation of fans that are as young as 13 and 14 that are catching up on, you know, 10 years worth of One Direction or, you know, almost 20 years worth of Marvel, or the same for Harry Potter. So no shame on this show.
Yeah. Okay.
How long you have or have not, or what you read or what you didn't read. I think that the greater service here is that even without all the context, you made the content that you did and delivered so much goodness into the community and created such cool moments that, I mean, here's something funny that we only just figured out a few days ago. I saw your content back in the fall, like your Harry Potter content, your Draco Talk content. I had no idea it was you. And then we became friends just recently with the Marvel craze that's picked up. And I recently was like, oh my God, I have all of your videos like favorited in my saves because I loved them so much then. Like I had no concept that it was you now.
Yeah, to be fair, I was blonde at the time and I've gone dark since. So
quarantine hair change up.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever went dark, but thank you for like, you know, kind of supporting my videos back then.
I love them. I thought you were fit. I would not have known the difference if you had read a book or seen a movie or whatnot. Like
I did. Great. I just, before I posted a video, I just wanted to make sure everything was accurate. So, you know, because I didn't want to be like, false information, if you could say that for a book, but
that's fair.
So, yeah.
I think that's kind of the beauty of TikTok too, is that it can like bring you ideas and content and like show you new fandom and community that like maybe you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, especially during the pandemic where we're all trying to find things to dive into to like eat up the time while we're sitting at home. It's like, why not watch all the Harry Potter movies and read all the books?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then as for Marvel, I've always been like a huge, so this is going to sound really cheesy, but Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero because like my brother and I grew up watching like the cartoons because like he had majority of the cartoons, you know, released for him. So we would watch that, you know, on Saturday mornings. And then I have a picture of when I think I was maybe 3 with like a Spider-Man shirt on and like Spider-Man face paint. And
I love it.
It's my favorite picture ever. And just like, I will treasure that forever. And then I've, you know, loved Marvel since, and it's like been a huge part of my life. So that's why I kind of just want to like.
Do you remember the first Marvel movie you saw in theaters?
In theaters, I think it was Winter Soldier. Not until then. I'd always have to wait until it like came out on DVD.
Yeah.
Or we would rent it. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think the first one I saw in theaters was Winter Soldier. So
good.
Sorry.
Okay.
I couldn't.
I'm so glad that you brought it up. This is a perfect segue into what I want to talk about next, which is what is currently happening on TikTok. And part of that is Sebastian Stan is having quite the moment right now on TikTok.
Oh, I know.
And there's so much conversation around how Harry Styles TikTok has come across the line to Sebastian Stan TikTok. We have Taylor Swift TikTok, like fully head over heels for Bucky Barnes. Even people that don't watch Marvel are now obsessed with Bucky with no context of his character storyline because of the Taylor Swift conspiracies. What's your take on everything and how kind of TikTok's having this moment with Sebastian Stan?
It's reminding me of Draco Talk. Like, that's all I can say is just like people would see Draco on their For You page and not know, like, they'd be like, oh yeah, he's the bad guy from Harry Potter. But just like, I love that, you know, Seb's getting a bunch of this, like getting his moment, you know. So,
right. And he's creeping. He's around. He's watching our stuff, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Do you have a message for Sebastian Stan if this comes up on his For You page?
Hi. Here's a video of us clubbing together in Madripoor, you know, it's just like, okay.
Right. Okay, so like I want to talk about that. So the videos that you've been putting out recently have been they've been good. So you did the video of you clubbing in Madripoor, which
I was so happy.
That gave me an entire like line of thought about how for Stark Radio I need to do a series around like vacationing to Madripoor or something like what does Madripoor Radio sound like? Is that going to be a series that you're building, or was that kind of like a one take situation?
I always kind of like depend if it's going to be a series based off of how well the video does. So that video flopped. It hasn't even hit 1,000 views. So I might repost it and just like see if it does any better. But if like one part of the video doesn't do well, then I'm just like not really encouraged to make another one. Except for like the snack wars. It's because like I'd already filmed it and it took me a lot of work. I bought the snacks, so it's just like I'm hoping one of the parts will do well, and then the views will trickle over. Yeah.
Is there so other than the ones we've mentioned, is there a video that you've made that you thought would do really well that you're really disappointed didn't blow up?
Yeah, definitely the clubbing one. But then I was also like, there was one. It was one Avengers one that I posted, and I thought it was so good, and like the editing was really good. And then it flopped.
You need to repost this because I never saw this video, and this is everything that I want to see all in one. So repost it. Tag me when you do.
Okay.
And is there a video that did blow up that you're like, oh my god, what is this? Like, why do people like this one of all the videos I've ever made?
Oh my gosh. I want to say. I'm not sure. I feel like it was maybe like the Tom Holland pictures that I edited myself into. I was just like, somebody take my phone away from me, and I like posted that as a joke. But then that video, like, it doesn't have a lot of views, but everybody's commenting on it, being like, "Who is that? Like,
who is she? Who is this girl with Tom Holland?"
Like, yeah, and I was just like, I mean, like that was kind of the response I wanted to get. I was just like, okay, that's good that they look that real. But then there was like people shipping us, and I was just like, okay,
now
I'll get my hopes up, you know?
Yeah. So let's talk about your editing skills for a moment, because not only did you edit photos for yourself, but you've edited photos for me to help in my manifestation that someday Tom Holland's going to come on this show and let me interview him. So for those of you watching with the visual, you're going to see them in a second. For those of you listening, you can find them on the Stark Radio show notes. So we have this beautiful photo of me and Tom hanging out at Comic-Con on a panel together. We also have Tom and me at Fan Expo, and he's in a very heartfelt moment. This is one of my favorites because I'm holding up 4 fingers, and I feel like that could be like Spider-Man 4 or something, like talking specifically about, I don't know, maybe we'll get like a 4th Spider-Man movie, even though he's only supposed to do 3. So what I want to ask you is, why would you choose to hurt me in this way? Why would you do this to me?
If I had to go through the pain of people saying, "Oh my God, I shipped them," and then nothing, like I'm from Canada. Like I will never meet Tom Holland ever. So that was like, you know, kind of a heart thing. So
yeah.
And then I love editing like things like this. It's so fun, and I was just like, you know, I'll make one for Liz. I can't remember. You were like, I remember you commented, you're like, sliding over a 5. Now do me. And I was like, okay, I will.
You're like,
might as
let
well,
me show
yeah.
you how it's done.
I was just like, yes, please.
Are we going to get a new update to your photoshopping yourself into Tom Holland photos anytime soon? Because I think that we deserve a new part to that series. We can kind of blow it up a little bit more, like kind of feed the fires of rumors about this.
I mean, if he gives us more like lives that I can edit myself into, because I feel like lives are really easy to edit myself into. The paparazzi pics are kind of nice. Yeah, so if he posts more lives, which I hope he does, because I love his lives, they're hilarious. Then yes, but we'll have to see.
So
I'll keep an eye on. I'll just keep an eye on his Instagram.
Call out Tom Holland, come out of hiding. We need more content so we can make more content to feed our own egos about this. Please. Yeah, we ask very politely. No, I love it. I think that
we're Canadian. We would only use politeness.
We would only use politeness, please, and thank you and sorry, Tom Holland. When did you, like, when Tom was announced as Spider-Man a few years ago, and then we got to see him do these movies, as someone that was a long-time Spider-Man fan, what was your first impression of Tom as Spider-Man? Was it like instant, oh, this is great, or was it like, I miss Andrew, or I miss Toby, or did you have any opinion around that?
So I remember seeing that like Marvel had released a new Spider-Man, but I didn't like go off and see who it was. I didn't end up. I remember going to see Civil War with the intentions of seeing who the new Spider-Man was. I was just like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man, you know?
Yep.
And then I saw Tom, and I was just like, oh, and I was 16 at the time when Civil War came out, and yeah, it was just like love at first sight. But that's also when my Bucky thing started, because I was like, Tom and Bucky. Yeah,
I am deep in the Bucky Barnes universe. That is my character of. I love Tom Holland as an actor. I think he's phenomenal. But in terms of like comfort character per se, I'm full on Bucky Barnes. That is my So you're a Bucky girl. Exclusive.
Yes, Bucky used to sub. I can't. I was always between Cap and Bucky. Because I had a Tumblr account, like specifically for the Avengers in 2016, where I wrote fanfics.
Look at you! I love it.
Oh my god, it was like that summer was like so great. Like summer 2016, I think everybody can agree. It's like it was the best.
Yeah,
hands down.
100%.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was like, I wasn't like super like Tom Holland wasn't, or Peter Parker wasn't like my comfort character, because I only wrote like 2 fics for him, whereas it was like I loved writing for Bucky and for Steve. But yes, that's just kind of like how I got into that. So
I love it.
Yeah, I have to say, because there's like the whole like which Spider-Man is the best, and I feel like I have a controversial opinion. Like Tom Holland, he's my favorite Peter Parker, but he's not my favorite Spider-Man.
Oh,
you know, so my favorite Spider-Man, I would have to say, is probably Andrew. I love how like my favorite scene is when he has like the firefighter hat on, and it's just like that's like my favorite thing ever. And I'm like, that is like 100% like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's a good opinion. I agree. I would agree with that. I think that as like a superhero, I think Andrew did a great job, but I think as like a Peter Parker personality, I wasn't a huge fan of Andrew's Peter. I said on a live a few weeks ago.
Too cool. I feel like he was too cool, if that makes sense. Like,
cool. I said the same thing a few weeks ago on one of my TikTok live shows. We had a couple people, like J. Kevin Parker was one. We were all talking about Spider-Man, and I was like, listen, like Tom Holland is like the best comics Peter Parker representation that we've had. He's got that like kind of juvenile, childlike energy to him, and makes it more believable. When you watched Andrew as Peter Parker, it was like emo scream teen style, like Peter, which I wasn't.
Skateboarding montage, I was just like,
it was like Fall Out Boy Peter Parker, and I was like not so into that at the time.
No, yeah.
One thing that I did say that I'd love your opinion on is if we had Andrew's Peter Parker with Zendaya's MJ paired up. I think that duo would be like unstoppable. And then to pair Emma Stone's Gwen with Tom Holland's Peter.
Oh my gosh.
Like
yes,
the moodiness of Zendaya's MJ, I think would just be incredible with Andrew's Peter.
Oh yeah, I think so. 100%.
There's your new editing challenge. Good. Put those two together.
Okay. I'd be so down for that. I don't know, I'd be so down for that.
I mean, it's just that imagine the moody energy between the two. They would be so awkward.
Oh
it would be so great.
Honestly. Yeah.
Do you have any other like cross pairings like that you think of? Like, oh, if these two people had been together, it would have been absolutely incredible.
I can't think at the top of my head. I'm so bad at like thinking of things like right at the top of my head.
Right.
So I feel like.
So what do you think of like Black Widow and Bucky? Because that's a huge conversation on TikTok right now. Is how in the comics Natasha and Bucky were like a friendship pairing, whatever, but then they got nothing in the movies.
Yeah, they trained together, like in the comics, or well, Bucky trained Natasha. But I know the only thing that we got from the movies was just like the "you don't even remember me" or whatever.
Yep.
And a lot of people are thinking of just like, oh, that was just from like her referring to Winter Soldier. But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure like we're like I feel like in the Black Widow movie we might get a little glimpse of Bucky, which I'm hoping. Or just like hearing like the music.
I did not even consider that we might get Bucky in the Black Widow movie. Okay. I have a very strong opinion that the best Marvel movies, if you were to rank them, every movie with Bucky Barnes is at the top of the list. And then there's every other Marvel movie below it. So if we get Bucky Barnes and Black Widow, straight to number one on my list, possibly.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I hope we do, but I feel like if we do, it's just going to be like crumbs. Like we're just going to, I feel like we're going to hear like the Winter Soldier music and just like have a little glimpse of him, but I'm not sure. So fingers crossed because
and fingers crossed we can see that movie in theaters as well. That's what I'm hoping for. If I have to watch that on my TV at home, I'm going to be very upset. I need the full surround sound Black Widow experience.
Yes, I'm going to be like first in line, extra large popcorn, 3D if I can, if that's an option.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Reserving my seat like weeks ahead of time, showing up hours early. That will be me. I also am thinking about the rumors that we might. There was rumors we would get the 6-hour cut of Endgame released on Disney Plus. And since we're still in lockdown, I'm like, I would absolutely watch it. But would you go to a theater to watch 6 hours of Endgame?
I would love to say yes, but my bladder would say no. And just,
they'd have to do intermissions. Like, hey, 20 minutes, everyone leave, come back.
I feel like they would have to do that, or at least just like one break in the middle, because I was fine with Endgame. Like, I didn't get like a large drink or whatever. Like, I paced myself, you know. Yeah. But like,
Endgame was like an extreme sport training mode. It was like, all right, we need comfy clothes. We need to stretch before we sit down. Mm-hmm. Small drinks.
Yeah. Small drinks, all the snacks. Yeah. I just like, I would love to, but I hate missing, parts. I hate having to leave a theater to go to the washroom and just like the stress of like running and then like trying to find your way back and like being, excuse me, Yeah, so
it's terrible.
6 hours in a movie theater, I don't think I could do, as much as I'd love to just have that surround sound experience, but probably not. I'd rather do it in my house.
In your house. I could agree with that, especially if it's like, if they give it to us out of pity of, listen, y'all got nothing else to do. Here's 6 hours of Endgame. Go enjoy yourself. I would do it, but I don't know if I could sit for 6 hours in a theater and watch it. I'm looking at my TV as I talk to you about this, like, is it worth it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely order out, because I know like you can order like the movie theater popcorn on like Skip the Dishes or whatever, and so I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Just like
100%.
Yeah.
That would make it worth it. And then it's like your own, like you're not really missing anything other than the uncomfy chairs. You could like make surround sound happen in your own living room. We can make this work. We have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a projector, which could help.
Oh, nice. I love that. So is that how you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier? You're like full projector mode on, lights off, don't talk to me, stuff the door with towels so no sound can come in.
Yeah, basically, it was just like nobody talked to me for like an hour, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have me for the rest of the day, but this hour is for me, just me only. Yeah. Nobody interrupt because I do not want to press pause to talk to you, you know? So.
What did you think of the show now that it's wrapped and we can like form a full opinion on it? What did you think?
I loved it. I wish they had like a couple more episodes because I feel like the ending was a bit rushed. Yeah. But overall, I really liked it. I loved the issues that it covered, and just like it felt like it's such a blessing to be able to have 6 episodes that are like movie quality. You know, same with like WandaVision. It was really great. So. Yeah.
I keep saying now that we've seen 2 shows now do the characters justice through 6 episodes, I'm like, why didn't they do this for Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange is such a rushed plot movie. Like we could have had episodes just about like certain little pieces of the magic of that plot line, but no, they stuffed it all into 2 hours. I just rewatched it the other night, so I'm angry once again over this. It's very fresh in my mind. I was like, man, this would have been so good as a series instead of a movie. So I am glad that they structured it the way that they did. Have you been seeing the TikToks around Peter Parker like watching all the destruction happen from his window? Have you been seeing that meme? So people are posting like, where was Peter during the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Like, was he just like in his home in New York City? Like, oh, there's Bucky and Sam. Like, hey guys, good luck.
Yeah, because does the Falcon and the Winter Soldier take place after or before Far From Home? I'm trying to think what the timeline is.
I don't know.
Because I'm trying to think, because like if it were to take place after, you don't see like any Easter eggs in Far From Home. Which I could be wrong. Maybe you could see them, but I feel like you couldn't.
Yeah.
But
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I feel like there'd be like some remnants of like you would see like maybe like a hand plastered on the wall, like painted on the wall or something, you know. But no, that'd be so like tag me in them if you see.
I will.
On the For You page. Yeah.
I was going into the finale thinking we might get a Tom Holland cameo. Like I was fully prepared, like, oh, like we're going to see Spider-Man like swing in and help save the day. Like no. I understand why they didn't. I'm a little cheesed. I just want some answers. So Tom, when you watch this, write back to the show and you let us know, where were you? Why didn't you help our man Bucky and Sam?
I would love to see just theories, like a thread of theories being like what Spider-Man was doing. Like he was getting shawarma or like building something with Ned.
And speaking of, this week, Anthony posted on Instagram pulling up to Tom Holland's house, and it's him in the Captain America suit flying across the screen. You saw this post, I assume, and freaked out like the rest of us. The funniest thing, and Tom has yet to respond, I think. Am I wrong on that?
No, he does. I have his notifications on, so I'm like kind of constantly like checking to see like has he posted? Has he at least like added it to his story with like a comeback or something? But
no,
I'm hoping this is like maybe some sort of cameo indication.
Maybe that'd be good.
But they finished. I don't know. They finished wrapping Spider-Man last month.
Yeah, I think so. But they are writing. They're writing the new Captain America movie now, so maybe this is Anthony being like, "Listen, it's coming."
Oh yeah. I just want them to be on screen in a film together. So fingers crossed, it's one or the other.
Yeah, this post really killed me though when I saw it because it's. I mean, there's so many TikToks with the moment from Comic-Con when Tom and Anthony and Sebastian are on the couch and Tom's like, oh, like, where's the Falcon movie? Ha ha ha. So I'm like, wow, this is really Anthony feeding the TikTok crowd what they want to see. Like a direct, I know y'all still talk about this. Here is my official comeback all these years later. Yeah. And even in the caption I'm reading, it says hashtag Spidey Buddy, hashtag Cap Fish and Chips. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I hope that Tom responds because that's what we deserve, I think.
Yeah. I feel like Tom's also not responding because he doesn't want to spoil anything if he does.
Oh, that's a great theory. Tom's like, Anthony's got him cornered.
He said, if I say something, I'm going to spoil something. So
So I'll say that.
That's my theory is why he hasn't responded yet, is just because like he's gonna spoil something if he does.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Tom, I cannot wait till he has more things to spoil for us, hopefully.
Oh,
well, I mean, Spider-Man's supposed to come out end of the year, which means press is going to start probably in the fall, like mid-fall around Halloween. So hopefully he will drop some golden nuggets of spoilers for us to make content out of. The other thing that Tom posted this week is an amazing Instagram story. Let's just break this down for people that have not seen this or did not see this. Tom posted a series of about 5-6 posts on his story with no context of him with an Ed Sheeran guitar playing a Ben Platt song. And he keeps screwing up over and over again as he's playing, but it's quite well done. Talk to me about where were you when Tom posted this? What was your reaction to this?
I was actually about to start filming for that club POV that I made, and I got the notification saying Tom Holland posted to his story, and I was like, okay, so I was just expecting like a Brothers Trust post because that's what his like last few stories have been, and then all of a sudden I see him with a guitar, and I'm just like, oh my god,
what are you doing, Tom?
I full on freaked out. And I was like, I just like sat in awe, just like watching it. I like had the volume turned all the way up. I was just like watching it, like, oh my god, he plays guitar. You know, it's just like.
Wait, I don't think we've seen him play guitar before. I think this is like new.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his quarantine hobby.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he talk like it was in one of his lives? He was in the car. He was like, I either want to learn Spanish or guitar.
Right.
I think that was what. Yeah. So
Tom has not learned Spanish, is what we've learned from this.
With Tom, I know I'm fluent in Spanish.
Okay, shoot your shot. Go back. Yeah. The floor is yours. Shoot your shot.
I was going to speak Spanish, but I'm nervous. Tom, si lo quiero, pueden aprender español contigo y practicar.
Yay! I have no idea what you said, but I agree.
I'm pretty sure I mixed up the words teach with learn. I couldn't think of the word teach. Like I completely left my mind. So I just used the word aprender.
I love it.
I was like, we can practice together because I haven't spoken Spanish in so long. So
beautiful.
Tom,
a study buddy.
If you ever see this, yeah, study buddies. But I'll make flashcards.
Amazing. Flashcards with Tom and Mads live on TikTok coming to you on a screen near you soon. And then, so not only did you freak out about this, but then you did something that made it even worse for the rest of us. So tell us about the video that you made from this.
I basically combined all of this video and then I took some clips from his live when he was wearing like the pink hoodie watching Spider-Man. I took some clips from that and then I made an alarm sound for everybody. And it's just like him saying good morning, him making like these like not weird sounds. It's just kind of like when you first wake up and just like the stretching.
Yeah,
just like that, you know. And then just him saying like, oh, I might go back to bed. Like, so I put all of those over top of like his guitar, and I tried to like mesh it together so it was like kind of like seamless, which was a bit difficult. But yeah, so that's up on my video, like that's up on my page. And
so if you want an alarm of Tom waking you up with some guitar and some good morning messages, HTTPS Mads on TikTok has you covered with a video that will destroy your soul.
It's such a peaceful way to wake up. Like,
oh, so you've practiced with it. It works.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really peaceful. It's just like, oh, it's a nice guitar, you know, Tom's like nice morning voice.
I love it.
Yeah,
see, unfortunately for me, I need a very loud, aggressive alarm to wake up. I cannot wake up to like soothing sounds at all. I need to be like woken out of a deep slumber. So there's been a sound that's going around that somebody posted like, oh, like Sebastian Stan alarm. It's got like hearts and like it like looks very nice. And then it starts playing and it's him like screaming at you. And I'm like, that's more the level I'm on. I need someone to be like, cows. What is the sound of him being like, dog says,
oh,
cat
says, "Bow wow." What does the moo cow say?
Cow say, ah. That is what I need to wake up to, like, be fully alert.
Yeah.
I think I can listen to what you made to put me to sleep at night. It's very well done. Again, the editing master of Marvel TikTok, in my opinion, right in front of us folks, Mads. You deserve way more credit for what you do and what you make. And I'm surprised that you only have 20,000 followers, because the amount of care that you put into sourcing clips and then matching them and then creating storylines that ties it all together. It's really like when I first found you, I was like, she must be like a video editing student. Like this must be what she does, but it's not. So what do you do other than make amazing edits and POVs? What do you want to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm currently at university for communication and media studies. So I would love to do something in like the media industry, like the entertainment industry, not like media, I guess. I feel like my dream goal would be to like be a host on like ET or something. That would be like
absolutely
the greatest thing ever. But like I feel like my parents wouldn't like. I feel like that's hard to pursue. My parents wouldn't like it, so I definitely need to like have a chat with them, being like, "This is what I want to do."
Listen, that's what I did. I went to school for PR. Now I hang out on TikTok and do my own show. I produce shows, and it's like, at some point you have to. I think the best piece of advice that I was ever given was, people always say that you can't work in entertainment, and yet entertainment is an industry. Like it literally is an industry that exists. So therefore, you can work in it. And when somebody told me that, I was like, oh, you're so right. It's not like working on Stark Radio is a dream, because Marvel is a cinematic universe. It's not a real universe to work in, but and I think that like doing like what you're doing and editing videos and making a name for yourself in fandom, like it's all very real skill sets that you need when you're actually in the industry. There was this really cool podcast, the Women of Marvel podcast had an episode on fandom and community, and it was 4 women that work at Marvel talking, and all of them talked about how they had Tumblr accounts and they wrote fan fiction and they go to cons. And I was like, oh, I forget sometimes that the people that are the ones behind the Marvel Twitter accounts or working the movie premieres and all this kind of stuff are literally the same as us. And we all started in the same place on Tumblr in 2011, we all started with 5 Sauce fan fiction.
I actually like love to listen to that. So it's the Women in Marvel.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's the Women in Marvel
that'd
podcast.
Be great.
It was a really good episode. Actually,
it
sent me a little bit into a spiral, because they talked a lot about how much they love conventions and New York Comic Con, and I was like, my background's in event management, and I was listening to this. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be so long until I can do that work again. Like that is where I shine, is, running VIPs to stage and working press and all of those things. It's like, we're not even going to have a carpet to walk on for like another year, let alone, doing Comic-Con the way that it used to. But anyway, it was a really great episode. I'll send it to you so you can listen.
It'd be great.
It's going to be a long time till we're all together again.
Oh, I know. We have a trip to.
Yes. Okay. So tell everyone listening what you and I are planning, because this is not, by a long shot, this is not going to be the last of Mads and Liz on the podcast talking about all things fandom. Tell the people what we're planning.
So we're planning on going to Disneyland together to go to the Avengers campus.
Yes.
This is like going to be so great. And then Liz introduced me to McFly, because she was like, I'm going to go see them.
There they are, up on the wall. If you're watching with video, they're right there.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. So, and then I was just like, oh, I really like them. And she was just like, what did you say? You have I
have tickets for McFly, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen with a variety of factors. But the end of the line is that you're coming, and you're going to we have so much in store, between doing the Harry Potter tour of our dreams and doing Avengers campus in California, and the content that we're going to make when we do all of these things.
It'll be so good.
It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. So if you guys don't
That's if us Canadians get our vaccines soon.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm really wanting it. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm seeing all the U.S. people getting their vaccines. And I'm just like, I wish. You know?
Imagine the day that I get a vaccine. Okay, this is a very superficial thing to say, but in the context of this show, I think it makes sense, and I hope that everybody listening and watching understands this for what it is. I am so upset that I can't do the Bucky Barnes trend of you get your vaccine and then you do, that trend that's going around. I want to do it so bad, but I can't get a vaccine. So I'm going to be doing that trend in like December when I finally get a vaccine in my arm.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in March when we were all doing the Winter Soldier arm twist. Yeah, I'm doing that.
I know. I kind of just want to do it like. I kind of want to put just tinfoil on my arm. And be like, when I get a vaccine in like 2024 or something, and it's just
You're like, okay, we're bringing back a retro trend. Remember when we got vaccines? I'm not getting mine. The other Bucky trend that I am, God, it's like, you know how you have videos in your drafts that will just never see the light of day?
Plenty of those, yeah.
Yeah, so I have one right now, and I'm trying to take my old clothing that has screen printing on it from like various jobs I've worked at and things that I've done that like I don't want to wear them anymore because I don't work for those companies or I don't, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get rid of the screen printing so I can reprint them into Marvel merchandise. And I have all the designs ready to go. I bought everything I need to do to make the printing happen. But the method that I'm following to get the screen printing off is not working at all. And all I want is my Bucky Barnes sweater, and I have it all ready to go, and I can't do it because the method of removing screen printing is not working, and I'm in lockdown, so I can't even get what I need to try again. So that's one of my Bucky trends that like you've seen all the people making the Winter Soldier sweaters, and I'm like, I'm trying so hard, but now the moment's gone. It doesn't even matter anymore if I actually end up making it work. Do you have any videos and drafts that are like never going to see the light of day, or like you hope someday you'll be able to finish?
I know I have, I think maybe I want to say 44 drafts, and I'm thinking of doing some. Yeah, I know it's mostly just like of me like doing retakes because I'll often film on TikTok, just like get the zoom in on like the face because I can't take videos. I have 50 drafts, and
wow.
Yeah, because I take like videos to like save a sound of like videos that I want to do. I have one that I might be posting soon. It's kind of just like what were to happen if you were to put me in a room with like Tom Holland and Harrison off.
I love it. That's so good.
It's basically just like me describing it. It's like I wouldn't know what to do because it's just like I love both of them. And so like they're two different people. Yeah. Like Harrison's got the blonde hair, blue eyes, he's taller than Tom, but Tom is Tom.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't know like in a hypothetical situation, I wouldn't know like who to gravitate towards, who to start flirting with, if who I would have a shot with if I had a shot with either of them. So that's kind of just like one of the videos that kind of I might be posting soon. I'm not sure though.
I think you should. I feel like it's a dilemma that many people think about. So please make it so the rest of us can come into the comments and gather together and
relate.
Relate with you to that feeling. I feel like your drafts are still probably like 5 worlds beyond like what my drafts are. My drafts are a mess. So whatever you're hiding in there that you don't think is good enough to post, you should just do it.
I might just post it, like, if I don't have anything to post, I might just, like, post something. One video that I was, like, I really wanted, back to, like, the which one you really wanted to blow up. That one that I did of, I was doing Nat's lines with Captain America in Winter Soldier. I was, like, super happy with how that turned out, and it flopped because I posted it underneath the original sound, which it wasn't like a trending sound, so I don't think it did very well because of that, but that was like my favorite thing ever. It was really
that
great.
One was so good. And you synced it perfectly to the point where I was like, what's this scene? I had to go watch the original scene to be like, wait, what did she do here? Like it's phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah. I have I have that in my draft still, like one that I could repost and see if it does better. So maybe I'll repost it just to see. But
Do it.
yeah,
Do
that's
it.
kind of just
I
like
mean,
what my drafts look like. Yeah.
here's what I think. I think that people who follow you and know all of your content verbatim, aka me, would see you repost a piece of content and be like, oh, I loved that the first time. And everybody else, it's new and fresh. Nobody would know.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. So just do
Yeah,
it.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's encouragement. So
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So on that note, you have tons of great content that deserves a ton of love. We've talked about many of the videos. There's one video in particular that I am directing people towards, and it is the one of you in the plane and Tom, and it's the sound from after, which there is a story to this video, which is a couple of weeks ago, I was shooting content with my friend Skincare Anna on TikTok. And Mads messages me and she's like, I made this video. Do you want to see it? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to see it. Like, send it to me. And I'm shooting. All,
like first-hand views.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, you get the first-hand views.
Yes,
every one of my videos.
I get the previews before they go public, which I'm always appreciative of, because really it just gives me warning of what's to come. Because I get your videos just up on the For You page sometimes, and I'm like, oh, that hurts, man. Like, I didn't need. But regardless, so Mads is like, I have this video, like, I'm gonna send it. I'm like, oh, this is very exciting. So I turned to my friend Anna, and I'm like, Anna, this, and I explained, like, it's my friend Mads, and she makes this content. Anna's like, oh, that's cool. And then we were shooting, and then I see the notification come up that you sent me the video, and I open it, and I'm like, oh, like, let's watch it together. And then we play it, and Anna watches my face just like completely fall, and she's like, what? Like, what's the matter? And I'm like, do you not know what the sound is from? And she's like, no, she had no idea, because she's not into fandom. And I was like, this is the worst thing that I could have possibly seen today. Like, I was like, I'm done shooting content. I need to watch this 50 times in a row. Like, it's you and Tom, and it's the clips from Far From Home on the plane when he's crying about like Tony and everything else. And he's all battled, scarred up on his face. And it's the sound from after of, I don't know what the girl's name is in after, but they're arguing about like how I can't trust you, but I love you. And I can't, like, oh, it's heartbreaking. And you map it perfectly, and you did the effects perfectly. Just why? Why would you do that? What gave you the idea for that? This is the note I want to end on. Tell us about that video and how it was a personal attack towards me that I have yet to forgive you for.
Well, I know like people were making videos underneath that sound, and I think like I think somebody had done like a video similar to like Tom crying, Peter Parker crying, and then using it under that sound. So right. I can't remember who did the original video, but that's the only issue with like TikTok and like Marvel is that you only have like a select thing, like clips to use. And that's kind of, I was just like, I put together the piece because that's something that like it really irks me is when like their mouths don't match the like the sound, and so I put pride into like making sure that it kind of looks like they're saying the words. And then Stark Kate is her at. She makes amazing POVs, and her editing is just like crazy. She has a bunch of original characters. She kind of showed me how to do like the Tony Stark screen thing, you know. Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, I just wanted an excuse to, you know, use this effect. So I did that. And so I just wanted to use that. And then I thought it was like super angsty and great. And like angst is my favorite type of video to make. I just feel like they do a lot better for some reason because everybody's like, oh my God, part 2 and all that jazz. And it's like, oh, my heart. And I was like, exactly. That's what I love. I love angst fics. They're my favorite, you know? So yeah, that's kind of what I think you nailed it.
You nailed it with that one. You quite literally took me out with, like, when I say you took me out, I mean I had to stop filming content because I was like, there is no POV that is better than this exact one. Like, this has ruined my day. So that is the video in the best way possible. You ruined my day with it. So I encourage everyone to go find that video specifically, and that should be your introduction to the amazing content of HTTPS Mads.
Thank you.
Other than your TikTok, like what's next for you? What's coming on your account? Where can people find you and support you?
Yeah, honestly, just like TikTok probably is like my biggest platform that I have. So it's linked right here, at https mads with two D's because that's my name, how it's spelled. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. It's more of like a personal Instagram because I only have the one. And yeah, I'm hoping to post some more POVs. I'm kind of bummed that we have to wait until June now for more Marvel content, but I might be filming some Loki POVs just because like I love him. I think it might be time because I'm losing motivation to post if TikTok doesn't unshadow ban me. So
yes, so support Mads in her quest to become
Please.
unshadow banned. I think that this is breaking news that you're going to start building Loki content. So now I have to go emotionally prepare myself to see Mads Loki crossover, which iconic to begin with, and will only become more iconic as we get the new series coming out. But yes, follow Mads on TikTok. Amazing POVs, a great Canadian creator. Hopefully we get our vaccine soon and we can team up in person and you can try and edit me into a video.
Yes, that would be great.
Listen, I am not an actor, but I certainly did my few years of high school improv. So I'm sure we can find some kind of way to edit me in. Speaking of, I need your help editing the sounds of Peter Parker saying, "Hey, Liz," from Spider-Man Homecoming into my opening for Stark Radio. So we can talk about that.
Okay, yes, we
when
can.
the recording's over. But thank you for coming on Stark Radio. And the last question I want to ask you, what song would you like to request live on Stark Radio?
Could you do Kilby Girl?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.